So here we are on gratitude and what it really did, to my life. And I'd like to really share that with you. So I just like to ask you a question. Did you find 2021 tough? If you did, right, with the coronavirus, if you were in India, you might have heard that, a lot of people lost family or extended family. There were a lot of job losses between 2021, right? So how did you find that? What do you focus on when things are not going well in your life? What are the thoughts that surround you? So what we'll do is let's just look at it, and ask yourself sincerely in life, which line are you normally standing in? Are you constantly complaining, I wish I got a new job. I wish I got more income. I wish my boss was better. I wish my spouse, wife or husband listened to me, right? Most of us tend to have about 60 to 80,000 thoughts a day. And guess what? 80% of them are negative and 95% are repetitive. And you know why that happens very often? Brain is a threat detection mechanism because it helps you, survive, right? At the end of the day, you have to survive. Let's say, for example, that, you have a perfect day going well. You start your day, you have some great meetings, you're going, and then there's something that happens. You have an argument at office, which is violent, or your boss says something, and suddenly your whole mood changes. So you might have spent like 5 great hours in a day, but it took just 20 minutes of something unsavory to ruin that day. And that's simply because we are geared to actually look at negativity in our life very, very closely. And somehow, and that's just purely a threat. There's nothing right or wrong. Okay. But there's hope yet. Okay. There's a concept called neuroplasticity. And what is that? It's the ability of the brain to rewire itself. So even though you may have repetitive thoughts of, not doing well enough, not having a great self-image, not, finding the right job, right? It's possible to change that. And that's what I do. As a coach, I work with leaders and CXOs and help them rewire their brain so that they can actually be geared for success. I help people. I've had a lot of CXOs who have a lot of money and position, but they don't have great relationships or they don't have great health. And, you'd be surprised just because money and position isn't everything. There's a lot more to life, right? And how do you change habits, right? You might have said that, yes, you had a brilliant last session, but today you find that you haven't. Some of us haven't acted on all the knowledge that we got, right? Why? Because we love to listen. And especially as Indians, I've seen, compared to other nationalities with good, we love to learn, we love to talk, we love to intellectualize, but we don't take enough action, right? So my next thing is I'm going to ask you a few things, some points to ponder. How many of you are alive today? If you're alive today, do you know that 1 million people will not survive this week? Okay. A lot of them didn't wake up today, but you got it. And, we take this for granted. I took it for granted for most of my life, right? Till I began realizing, and unfortunately, we never learn till there is adversity. So I actually look at adversity as, one of the greatest things to learn from in life, because it helps us look inwards. That's the only time human beings, truly look inward and say, oh, what's going wrong? Why is my life not as perfect as the way I thought it should be, right? So if you're alive today, be thankful. And as Dilip also mentioned, every day, get up and just say, thank you, God, for, making me alive. So I can continue to do what I'm supposed to do. As if you're in this stage of life where you're, providing for your family and everything, right? It's a great thing because your entire family depends on you, right? Your kids are going to school or they're studying somewhere or, whatever your obligations are, right? So the next question I have for you is, how many of you can actually see my slides? How many of you can see my slides and are listening to me? If you can, just type Y in the chat box, right? Great. So I think all of you can see my slides and are listening to me, right? But you know what? If you can see and read and write, there are 3 billion people in this world who cannot do that. They cannot see, they cannot read, they cannot understand. So you are very, very privileged. Don't you think that? But all of us take it for granted, right? Just think somebody who's blind, the joy of what it would be to just see light, to see color, to see family around rather than just listen. To be able to read, I mean, to be able to read the most beautiful books and to be able to understand these thoughts. I mean, we're today in a session and it's enriching for me, right? Just as it is, I hope, for you. And if that's the case, just imagine how privileged you are, right? Now, I'm going to ask you another question. How many of you had breakfast today? How many of you have a roof over your head today? How many of you have a bed to sleep on and slept well? How many of you were lucky to do that? But do you know that if you have food to eat, if you have clothes to wear, if you have a roof over your head and you have a bed, you're in the top 25% of the world? I mean, just think of it. Whatever you're going through, right? You are in the top 25% of the world, whatever the world tells you, because, you know, a lot of people in India, you know why the Prime Minister was trying to build toilets? Because there are none. There is no water in so many parts of either India or developing countries or Africa or lots of places. So we are very, very privileged, right? But we take all these things for granted simply because, yeah, this is the way we were born, right? We were lucky and that's it. But not everybody has it. So what I'm saying is, you know, what I'm trying to do is to make you acutely aware of things that we all have, which a lot of other people in this world don't have. We are only preoccupied with what I don't have. We're constantly focusing on what you don't have, but we just don't seem to focus on what we have, right? All of you is top 18%. And if I make a few more cuts, I'm sure you're actually going to get even better, right? So life is a lot better. So let's come to gratitude. Gratitude comes from the word gratus, which means really being thankful, right? From a Latin word. And the symbol that you see is a Buddhist symbol. Now, the beauty of this is that across cultures and across religions and across countries, everybody realized that this was something which really is so important, that what we did was we had, you know, if you were to look around in any culture, right? So there are symbols of gratitude, right? So whether it's the Eastern symbol or you're in the West, I think you have Thanksgiving, you know, there are lots of cultures, right? And there are a lot of gestures that are there, right? In terms of expressing, you know, bowing down is a sign of saying, you know, my ego is not that important. And this is right through that people have felt that the only thing that gets you going in this world is gratefulness. And that's why, right? So there are other symbols like the tree of life that you may have seen, or, you know, the lotus, which also symbolize gratitude. Okay. As we go on, right? I'm sure all of you have some pen and paper because we're going to do a little exercise. So the first question I have for you is, tell me, what are the three people you are actually, you know, who actually supported you in 2021? Right? Just write down on your thing. Think about it. Put their names. And when you're done, just share that with me. Just type D in the chat box once you finish that. The next question is, three things that are going well in your life that went well in your life in 2021, right? Three things that went well. I'm presuming that you managed to put down three things that are going well in your life. The next thing is three things that you can thank your parents for in your life. Three things you can thank your friends for. Three things that you can thank your colleagues for. People whom you work with, who stood by you, who supported you, whether it's your bosses, colleagues, anybody at work. The next thing is, what are the three things you can thank yourself for? Did you take on last year or this year, did you start a healthy routine? And a lot of us struggle with that, right? Because we don't like ourselves too much, unfortunately. Three things that you can thank your country for, wherever you live. I'm currently in India at this point in time. And I can, you know, I thank my flowers. I thank the the soldiers at the border who guard my frontiers so I can live. I think we live in a fairly peaceful country, despite whatever protests there are occasionally. In exactly 5 minutes or 10 minutes, you've got a list of almost 20, 21, 22, what I see, right? Things that you're thankful for. I mean, isn't that a privilege? I mean, nothing, I've not given you these. These are your things, right? These are things that really you're thankful for. So just think, if every day you just sat down and made a small list, every day, just notice one good thing about something. It could be, let's begin at home, right? Charity begins at home, your spouse, your child. Just notice one thing, right? Just express gratitude to somebody. Hey, thanks so much. Yeah. Your friend. If you find it difficult to do it at home, just do it. Just do one act of kindness for somebody and see the difference it makes. And four, it's an age-old technique. Even if you find it difficult to do any of the things, that is, notice something, say something, do something, just make a note, have a jar, and every day when you're gratitude, make a small list, take a post-it, right over there, and put this in this gratitude jar every single day. And when you're really down in life, right, sometimes when you think life is coming to an end, open this jar and start reading what you're grateful for. And then see how your mind changes. You'll realize that the things that you take for granted, and you are actually so rich. And you're grateful for so many things, right? In 10 minutes, we came out with 22 things. And this is what Charles Dickens said. Reflect upon your present blessings, right? Of which every man has plenty. So every man has a lot of things to be blessed about in this, right? Not on your past misfortunes, of which all men have some, right? Everybody suffers, right? We saw how Elon Musk suffered. We saw how, so many other people have actually suffered, right? This is another one that I like. Gratitude looks to the past and present, right? Greed and fear look ahead. So when you're happy with whatever you have in your past and present, not to make you complacent, but when you're scared, will I lose my job? All that happens in the future. So enjoy what you have today to begin with, right? Gratitude is the ability to experience life as a gift, right? It liberates us from the prison of self-preoccupation, right? All of us think so much about ourselves, right? Oh, I don't have this. I don't have a good job. I'm struggling. I don't have money, or I don't have whatever, right? When you start, it moves the focus away from you. This is another one from Brené Brown, right? What separates privilege from entitlement is gratitude, right? What is a privilege and what is an entitlement, right? It's all your, I think it's my privilege to present to you. It's not my entitlement, right? Dilip could have got another speaker. So start changing things. The moment you focus on what's good and what's great in your life, you'll be a very different person. Okay. Now I'm going to ask you to do another thing. And even if you're uncomfortable, if you've never meditated before, this is nothing. This is a very simple meditation. And I'm just going to spend a few minutes so that we're all, aligned. Okay. Oh, here's another one. Gratitude is not only the greatest virtues, but the parent of all others. Okay. Cicero was a great Roman philosopher. Okay. And of course, William Shakespeare, oh Lord, lend me a life, and a heart replete with with thankfulness, right? So everybody has so many things to say. And one more, gratitude is a sign of noble souls. Okay, so here we are. We're going to get into a meditation. And this is what I'm going to request you to do. And it's not over after this. So, just come back. What I'm going to request you to do is gradually now, just sit comfortably in your chairs, in your sofas, in your bed, wherever you are. And gradually close your eyes and start focusing on your breath. Just gently. Just come back and become present. Okay. Gradually notice how your body has sunk into the chair. Notice your feet on the ground. You may want to keep your palms outward, facing upwards. Gently focus on your breath. Is the breath thick or thin? If there are thoughts coming to your mind, just tell them that you're busy now. It's okay if they're around, they can hang around, but you've got something to do. Inhale, exhale. Don't rush your breath, whatever pace it takes. Let it flow naturally. Don't push it, don't struggle. Now I want you to breathe in relaxation, and as you exhale, let go of all the stress in your life. Breathe in good health, let go of disease. Breathe in love and kindness, and let go of dislike or hate. Breathe in joy and let go of sadness. Now imagine a white light coming from the top of your head, and it begins to heal your brain. It's a light of health. All the lesions in your brain are gone, and you have a perfect brain. Thank the brain. It allows you to do so many things in life, earn a living, do your work, see things, and it works tirelessly 24 hours a day. As the light goes down, it cleanses your eyes, your nose, your mouth, your chest. Let the light now go to your heart and heal the heart. Be grateful to your heart and thank it for pumping 24 hours a day. Thank your heart for being able to express love and gratitude. You realize that every part of your body works 24 hours a day without asking for a single weekend. Your body never asks whether it can go to sleep. Take a day off. Thank your body and be grateful for whatever your body, whatever state it is. It could have been worse. Now, thank your parents for getting you where you are. Remember, Mata, Pita, Guru, Devam. In our tradition, we thank our mother first, before the father, before the teacher, before God. Thank your mother. She nurtured you for 9 months before she gave birth to you. And perhaps the only person who loved you more than yourself. Thank your father if he has provided for you, dealing with stress, politics, whatever work that he may have, so that he could send you to school to study. Thank your ancestors for surviving and giving you this gift of life today. Thank your teachers and mentors who taught you to read and write. And whichever God you follow, thank him for giving you this beautiful universe and nature. Thank the sun for the warmth that it provides you, the vitamin D. And if you're experiencing a severe winter in Canada or anybody else, you'll know the importance. Thank the rain for giving you water to drink. Thank the rose for its lovely smell. Have you noticed that the law of nature is that it always gives and it never asks anything in return? Gratitude is realizing that we can never repay, ever, the gifts that we have received in any way. Remain in that state of gratitude and thanksgiving. And whenever you're ready, come back. Rub your hands and open your eyes. Thank you very much.